Magic the Gathering has a new set this summer. Today we give it a try and check out Magic's 2013 core set.
Hey everybody, welcome to Variant Edition. I'm Denny Connolly. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Magic 2013 core set in games. I had a chance to play in 2 pre-release events at Comic Swap with John Secreto and Adam Lugaville, so we're going to let you know what we thought of the set. Make sure you stick around later in the week. We still have Amazing Spider-Man to talk about, Mark Webb's reboot of the Spider-Man franchise. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, today I am back again with Adam Lugaville and John Secreto from Comic Swap, where we just attended a 2-day pre-release event for Magic 2013 core set. So Magic the Gathering is a collectible card playing game. If you've never heard of it, it's very popular. One of our favorite games. Every year, 4 sets come out, but in the summer, roughly 4 sets.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Every summer there's always a core set, which these, whenever we were younger, used to be called like 9th edition, 8th edition.
They
Now,
used to come out less frequently.
that's true, yeah. Now they come out every summer at the beginning of July, and they're named after the year. So this is the upcoming year. So the event we just played in was the 2013 pre-release. The core sets are usually really good for new players to get into the game, and pre-releases are really fun because you don't have to have a lot of cards. When you come to UCOM, you get 6 packs from most pre-releases are sealed pulls.
They're all sealed. They're either sealed or 2-headed giant sealed.
Okay, so a sealed deck tournament, if you don't know, is whenever you get 6 booster packs, you open them up, and you have to build at least a 40-card deck from those cards, and then you play in a tournament. There's no eliminations. You just play through. These guys both played in 2 tournaments, the Saturday tournament and the Sunday tournament. I played in the Sunday tournament. So, John Secreto, you can go ahead and tell us what your previous experience with Magic is, like how much you've played, how long you've played, and then what you think of this set.
Okay, so I started playing Magic when the game first came out, which I think was 1995.
The game came out in 1993, although most people didn't get a chance to play it in 93.
Yeah,
because
so
Whenever it went widespread.
I really was buying cards pretty much when Unlimited, like that's when I first started playing, like buying cards. I had, previous access to other cards and friends that had, like Alpha and Beta cards, and played for a pretty much up to Legends, which I don't know what year that was, but it was like 3 sets in or 4 sets in.
Somewhere around there.
And then Legends and
summer
Ice
before.
Age, and then I
Sounds
pretty much after that kind of fell out of it and didn't play for many years until M10. So
Yep.
the previous course. So that was 3 years ago now.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been playing pretty consistently over the past 3 years or so. My first impression of M13 is it's pretty good. I was actually just thinking about how many cards were not reprinted, and I was a little surprised that I didn't even realize that things like Llanowar Elf and Birds of Paradise were not reprinted.
Yeah, kind of iconic cards.
Yeah, some very iconic cards that are not reprinted. But it seems to be that the new cards are I like a lot of new cards that I wasn't expecting to like. I played green both days. I played green black the first day and green white the second day. I was actually really happy with getting to play white. I wanted to play blue too, but I didn't really get any good blue cards in my pool. So, but I was really impressed with how strong white was. Green's got some very, very powerful cards. The Thrag Tusk card that everyone's talking about already.
Yeah, that guy's great.
I got to play with that on the second day, and that card is really, really good, and seems like will be a pretty good standard card for the next year or so. Some of the white commons I was really, really impressed with. Tended Knight card, which is a new
Card's crazy good.
Yeah. I mean, getting a 2/2
Yeah, per common.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, a 2/2 first striking and also putting a 1/1 creature into
Yeah.
play. Exalted is back, which is really cool.
One of my favorite mechanics.
That's going to be
Yeah.
a really, really big deal.
My favorite thing about Exalted is when your opponent has like 6 creatures and only attacks you with 1.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks for not winning.
Yeah,
Sure.
so there's definitely that'll will obviously be a very big thing in booster drafts. Being able to draft Exalted decks again, which is really fun. So yeah, I think the rings are crazy. They seem very, very powerful. Uncommons, and some of the new the Planeswalkers. I didn't get to play with it. I did get to play with Planeswalkers, but not any new ones. But yeah, I mean, it seems really, really great. I like a lot of new cards. I like a lot of the reprints that I never got to play for. Rancor is great.
It's a cool card.
Yeah,
It's fun to get a chance to actually play that after hearing people talk about it.
So I'm pretty impressed with it so far, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to draft. We haven't booster drafted yet, so that's my favorite thing to do. So it'll be really fun.
So, Adam Lugaville, game manager of Comic Swap,
Yeah.
tournament organizer,
Yeah.
level 1 Magic the Gathering judge,
Yeah.
probably play a lot more Magic than either of us. What did you think
I had a heck of a good time. It was really cool because the 2 days I played very different decks. On day one I played green-white, and I didn't really have a very good pool.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to see how, like, the mediocre, just 4/4 vigilance with reach, uncommon spider dude
Yeah.
just can get you there. I mean, I did very well. I just attacked people with creatures and had a good time. And that's what core sets should be. I mean, it's really interesting how different the set is from the last few sets we've been playing.
Definitely.
And even going all the way back to M12 and then the set before that and all the way back to M11, this is a very different core set. I can't really remember how M11 drafted, but M12 was like super aggressive.
Blue-white
Every
flyers.
deck was like, well, blue-white flyers, but then there was
That's
also
every
just
deck I
like
draft.
red-black Bloodthirst was
Yeah.
just so fast. Like,
Was very fast.
both of the days that I played, my decks would have just folded to black-red Bloodthirst.
Yeah.
But that's kind of neat because M12 is a very different
Yeah.
format. On Sunday, I played all three of the other colors. I played black, blue, red. And I did that because I had Nicol Bolas Planeswalker in my pool,
He's
which
awesome.
is 8 mana Planeswalker that wins the game for you. And
Yeah.
I wanted to play him. I didn't care. And it was great, and it was awesome, and my deck was very controlling. And it was cool because I chose to draw, which is whatever. If you know what that means, awesome. If you
It's a
don't,
thing.
that's awesome too. But because I played such a different deck on Sunday, it showed me that M13 is a more diverse set. The two different decks I played both felt very good and like the exact opposite playstyle.
Yeah.
So that was kind of neat. That's a neat thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely agree that I think that the way that, knowing the way that M12, like, there was some super fast beatdown decks, I was surprised at how many people I played that it was like turn 1 go, turn 2 go, turn 3, and I was like, okay. So
I definitely had a lot of games like that.
You know, and I don't know, I mean, it's something to think about going into, you know, moving forward with, you know, different formats, especially, you know, booster drafts, where maybe you don't have to build a super fast deck, and you can think about, you know, how you can, you know, maybe a controlling deck is going to be a possibility
Yeah.
in booster
But
drafts.
it's
Well, I mean,
funny.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it made me feel the opposite way. I felt like, man, if I was playing a fast deck, if I had a creature turn 1, creature turn 2, I won the game. Every game where I dropped a 1-drop on turn 1 and a 2-drop on turn 2, I ended up winning.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was waiting until turn 4 to play anything.
Yep.
And if you're in there for 12 damage before they play a creature,
Again, things like Exalted, they're, you know, like, that can end up being a big deal. You can be swinging for, you know, 7 points on turn 3 or 4, and your opponent's done nothing. That's a big
But
deal.
here's the interesting thing. I think they knew that, and I think they watched M12 and saw how fast and brutal it was,
Yeah.
and they intentionally like planted cards. They reprinted Kraken Hatchling. It might have been in M12. I feel like it was,
Oh.
but it's better in this set than it would have been there.
It was.
Additionally, they put Fog Bank back in a core set. I don't know if it was ever in a core set before, but it is a reprint. I'm pretty sure, and it is the world's best blocker. And Fog Bank basically just shuts down Exalted completely.
Yeah.
Like, unless they have a piece of removal, they can't beat you if you have Fog Bank out because Exalted they make you want to attack with one creature. Fog Bank just sucks it up.
Yeah.
And he's got flying, so there's no way you're getting around him.
Yeah. So overall, you liked it?
I liked it a lot, and it's really tough because we just are coming off of Avacyn Restored, and I don't know how much you want me to go into that, but Avacyn Restored is like a really not good draft set, and I actually enjoy it. I think it's fun, but in terms of the quality of the cards is so low that when you draft it, you're like, okay, my first pick's good, my second pick's decent, my third pick's pretty good, and then after that, I'm just picking up dregs. And you can tell with M13, when I open up a pack, I'm like, yeah, there's like 6 or 7 cards I wouldn't be upset to first pick.
You definitely have to start thinking about the cards that you're going to see your second pick around when you're drafting, or, you know, cards when you're building a sealed pool, that, you know, utility cards that you can definitely use, and I think that's really, really fun. It makes, you know, and definitely a turnaround from Avacyn Restored.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, we had Innistrad, which may be the best single block draft format of all time, or at least it's really close.
Yeah.
And then we had Avacyn, which is like, ugh. And then we have M13, which seems like it's gonna be really cool.
Seems good, yeah.
So this has been a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting up and down.
That's true. Yeah, it was a weird year. What do you think? Before I get into my opinion, do you think a lot of people usually new players love core sets and it brings them in? Old players avoid core sets, won't draft during a core set period, and they just kind of bored because they want more interesting cards. Core sets are 50% new cards, 50% old cards, 50% reprints.
Ever since Magic 2010, they made that their policy.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that this set has enough like spark to it? Does it have enough magic to make new players stick around and want to draft it?
I hope so. I mean, I definitely think new players are gonna like it. The Planeswalkers are flashy.
Definitely.
The cards are really fun. They've got like Door to Nothingness, which just says your opponent loses the game. That's really cool.
Someone won with that, and people applaud.
Yeah, like literally the room
applaud.
That's awesome.
But I guess I would say yes. It's just veteran players are never going to be as excited about a core set. When you buy a booster, you're looking for value.
Mm-hmm.
And there's value here, but there's also Wits End, and there's also Battle of Wits.
Yeah.
And these are cards that, maybe a kitchen table Magic might like, but you're not going to pay 7 mana to make your opponent discard their hand. No one's going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a rare.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but like on the flip side of that, there's really awesome rares in the set that are very fun, very flavorful, and well worth the price.
Yeah.
So, value-wise, it's fine. Whether or not veterans are going to want to draft it, I don't know.
I do think that with veteran players, that with the supposed letdown of Avacyn Restored, that people will be more looking forward to drafting a core set and playing with core set and playing with new cards that they will want to use for standard and like new planeswalkers that seem very powerful.
Yeah.
So it is about searching for value, but hopefully they'll be able to veteran players will be able to find stuff that they can.
So my opinion is someone who a pretty casual Magic player. Pretty similar to all three of our experience, I guess. I played when I was younger, not when it first came out because I was too young at that point. But I played.
Call me old?
Yes. I didn't think I would have to say it.
I started playing in '95.
Yeah.
If you're old, I guess I am too.
So I played Ice Age is the earliest memory I have of like really playing. I think it was like 4th edition and Ice Age stuff right around that period.
Yeah.
I remember like Icy Manipulators and Jester's Caps were like the iconic cards when I was a kid. And so I played for a short period of time then, maybe like a year or two. Then I stopped and I started playing again in the 2010 core set when the three of us all started playing again.
Yep.
And now I draft fairly regularly. And my opinion, I would kind of just be echoing you guys if I said too much, but I liked it a lot. I think it's really fun. It's not like the best set I've ever played, but I'm kind of a core set guy, I feel like, which is kind of unique. Most Magic players aren't that have played for continuous years, but I like it. I like dragons and flyers and things that are always in core sets, the iconic planeswalkers. And over the past year, I loved Innistrad and Dark Ascension. Avacyn didn't really do it for me. I wasn't crazy about it. I also didn't play it very much just because the first couple times I had played it, I wasn't having a ton of fun. But this, I think that I want to draft this a lot, and I think it's a fun set. I think it'll be really good for new players. Just because
if
it's
we
like
hadn't played
splashy.
Innistrad, do you think that your opinion would be different? When you open up your sealed pool in Innistrad and there were like double-sided cards and werewolves and vampires and zombies, it was just such a neat feeling.
Yeah.
And do you think if Innistrad hadn't been so recent, do you think that your opinion of the sealed pool would be different?
Of this sealed pool?
Yeah, of M13.
Probably, you think I would like it more, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite possible because
Innistrad is really hard to live up to. I mean,
it really
and
is.
it's so fresh in our mind, but the flavor of it was so good, and the mechanics of it was so neat. It's like it's really difficult to live up to. Which again, hopefully each new set can kind of build on that. And moving forward, we're going to get Ravnica, which I think everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But that's a really really good question.
Definitely, yeah. And not to do too much of like a history lesson, but I loved Innistrad, and then Scars of Mirrodin was before that, and I didn't really like it, but it was still really popular.
Mm-hmm.
Before that was Zendikar, which was just amazing, like the best Magic I've ever played probably. And I think Innistrad is right up there with Zendikar. Not as powerful, which is a good thing because those cards were crazy powerful, but it's one of the best sets I've ever played. And so Magic 2013 core set, we like it. That's the verdict.
3 for 3 again.
3 for 3.
Yay!
We like it.
Yay! That's what this is about.
Magic. All right, that's the show. Make sure you stick around during the credits. We're going to be playing another game of Heads Up, so you're not going to want to miss that. First, let's thank our sponsor, Comic Swap Inc. You can visit them at comicswap.net or check out their Facebook page. Later on in the week, we still have Amazing Spider-Man coming up, so make sure you come back tomorrow for that.